Listen to Downtown Hot Radio on the air 24 hours a day and 7 days a week.
You're now tuned into the Real Rap Radio Show. I'm your host, Walil Archer on Downtown Hot Radio. Today's special guest is Geromin Reyes. How are you today?
Very good. It's a real pleasure to be here in your show.
Pleasure's all mine. Pleasure all mine. I'm looking forward to talking to you about your book today.
Yeah, thank you for this great opportunity.
Yes, sir. My pleasure. So let the audience know about your book. What's the title of your book?
Yeah, so the title of my book is Simon and the Morphic Field. It's the first volume of the Karak and Terror series. Through this story, I invite readers to explore the connection between two worlds, the visible and the invisible, the physical and spiritual. The key to navigate both lies in our character and inner wisdom, which guide us through life's most important moments.
Okay. Sounds very, very interesting. Let's talk about your inspiration. What inspired you to write this book?
Yeah, thank you. My inspiration come from experiences, both in my life and the life of others, the that challenge us to bring our inner strength. In those thought moments is our character that sustain us. And this is what led me to develop a life philosophy, uh, which is life is a daily inner adventure. And with Simon and the Morphic Field, I want to share this philosophy with the world and show how character can be our compass in life.
Okay. And how long did it take you to write the book?
Well, writing this book was both a personal and creative journey. The ideas and experiences I share in it have been for me for years, but the process of putting them into words and shaping them into this story, it took about a year. And really, it was a journey of self-discovery where each word deepened in my connection with my own philosophy.
Okay. Would you like to share anything from the book about your personal journey that you talked about in the book?
Yeah, so uh, I've been since I was a kid, I always was observing how people overcome challenges and how once people is in that corner that sometimes life put us and seems like no no way or no clear path to get out of those circumstances, but how in those moments um, uh, somehow inner strength came from us to help us move and have a clear path. So one of the most symbolic memories that I have that I can share is when I was around 5, 6 years old. My parents decided to change from the center of the country to the border, and my dad decided that we will make the trip in a train. So we took a train, but when we were midway, the our destiny, we have a big tornado, a big storm that it was approaching the area. So the train stopped over there for a few days, and then one day they announced that the train should go back because the railroad it was damaged in the upcoming way. So I remember my dad came like, and that at that time I continue to see him as those superheroes on those movies, right? So he jumped into the room and tell us, "Hey, we have 5 minutes because the train is going back, but we're not going back. We move forward." And so we pack everything in a few minutes and all that. So we jump out of the train because the train was already ready to move on. And then he put us in a hotel. And then in the morning he came and tell us, "Hey, I found a flight that will help us to jump the storm area, so we can get ahead of the storm and keep moving to our destiny. So moments like that, when crises are around people around us, and then that force that I call in the book the character code arise, and really that's what help us to move on, even when we don't have a clear path of how to do it, right? So those kind of moments and stories is what shaped my philosophy and my inspiration to write this series. The series is Character, which is 7 books, but Simon and the Morphic Field is book 1 of the series.
Okay, so you're gonna write 6 more?
Yeah, it's 6 more to go. The second one is coming by the end of this calendar year.
Okay. So what would you say was your process when creating this book?
Yeah, so the way that my writing process is I draw inspiration from what I call the morphic field. That is a space where ideas flow and clarity emerge. It's much like what Simon experienced on the story. In moments of uncertainty, I connect with that inner wisdom, which always guide me to help solutions and clarity and help me to move forward.
Okay. And while writing the book, did you experience writer's block? And if so, how did you overcome it?
Yeah, as everything. So when you're in a process to create something, there is uh, moments that you get stuck with the ideas and all that. So my background, I'm an engineer. So as an engineer, I develop methods and tools that help me to move forward when I face circumstances. So 2 main ones. So I have a process that I use every time that I create something related to uh, creating the stories or my own personal profession. So that called the 3P, which is purpose, process, and people. And I always structure everything on those dimensions, and help me to find flow. And the other one is, as I mentioned, I strong believer that all the ideas that we generate gets storage in this energy cloud. That is what I call the morphic field. And that if we exercise and develop our skill for deep listening, we just need to articulate the right questions, and then make that connection with this field, and then the ideas start to flow.
Okay. So you almost call it the 3P process.
Yes.
Okay. Now, how do you approach the 3P process? So if you could dive into that a little bit more.
Yeah. So usually before I start a project, I spend maybe 60% of the time developing the purpose. So I develop the purpose of what I want to do, what I want to transmit, and I mean, I create a lot of different versions of that until I find one that I feel very connected to, but also that I have the certainty that when I have question or doubts, I can go back to that purpose statement and will help me to find the right path or the right resources to move forward. So then after that, I develop the process. So I define in this case, if we put it in the story, I develop the sequence of the events that will help me to fulfill the purpose of the story. And once that is done, I go to the people side, that then I start to develop the characters that will be necessary to go along the story, but also to fulfill the purpose.
Nice approach. Very nice. Very
Mhm.
nice. Now, did you face any challenges when writing the book?
Yeah, so it was one the uh, a lot of doubts of really how to do it, because as I mentioned, my background is engineering, and I'm starting to develop myself on this field. So it was the questions about really if what I was doing it was correct, and it would take me somewhere, and all that. So, but as I mentioned, I always go back to that connection to the morphic field, and then in that connection, so I ask the question of where to find sources of information that help me to assure that I was moving on the right direction. So then I start to get in front of me books where explain how the Hollywood producers create their masterpiece. And so I start to read those books, and then I find out that the process that they follow to create their stories and the dialogues and the drama and all that, it was very similar to what I was doing. And then I say, okay, yeah, that's great. So that's what I need, just a little light that indicates that I'm moving in the right direction, and then I keep moving.
Okay. So how many chapters do you have in the book?
In the book, I have 22 chapters, in which the readers will embark on a journey between two realms. They will see the human realm, but also the soul realm. And through this interaction, I'm aimed to show how our daily decisions and actions are shaped by larger forces such as our character, destiny, and free will.
Okay. And can you elaborate a little bit more on that the viewers know a little bit more about the difference between the two?
Yeah, so what the readers will find out is that everything started on the soul realm when the universe was about to disappear because of all the decisions and behaviors of the humans. So gods and creators get together to forge a plan to rescue the universe. So they decide to create seven energies that are also known as the seven character codes. And by the way, each book will help to reveal one of the character codes. And so they create these seven character codes, and then they decide to choose selected souls that will go and live a human experience and master each one of these seven character codes. Also, they created a two soul masters that are the ones that we see in the cover of the book. And the soul masters, one is called Karak and Ter, that represents the character of a person, and the other one is called Dark and Death, that represents the darkest desires of human beings. So even though they represent both spectrums of the moral polarity, both have one mission, which is confront the souls that are living the human experience with their darker desires, so they can emerge with their character and then learn how to masterize. So all that is happening on the soul realm. Then on the human realm, then we will have Simon, who is the first chosen soul to go through this process during the human experience. And Simon will have two missions. One mission is to uh, develop and masterize his character code so he can rescue the universe. But also in the human realm, his mission is to save his people. He's part of a tribe called Shomos, and so he's the prophetized son of that tribe to save them from the tyranny of another tribe called Napiens. And then also we will have uh, Dusha. Dusha is a princess that will help us to realize how to how we deal with those two currencies, which are the destiny that says that we all have a destiny to fulfill, and then also the free will that says that we have the choice to make our own elections and decide what we want to do. So she helped us to realize how the middle point of those two currencies is really the character, and in the process to find that and to get to the middle point, how the four dimensions of our existence needs to be transformed, which is our physical, mental, spiritual, needs to be transformed so we can understand those concepts.
Okay. Now, what are some things you learned from writing the first book that you will apply when writing the second and the rest of the books?
Yeah, so something that I learned is that, yeah, it's a story that we want to share, but most important is how what happened in the story reflects what we as a human live internally in ourselves, because really every day, as my philosophy said, I believe that life is a daily adventure. So I think all those uh, dramas, romances, and adventures that we can see on the plot are really a reflection of everything that is happening inside us.
Okay. And as we close out, what would you like the readers to take away from reading your book?
Yeah, so what I would like readers to take away from the book is the understanding that um, all the answers to whatever circumstances are happening in life resides inside them, and they if they give the opportunity to discover their character code and embrace their inner wisdom, they will find a clear path to a more fulfilling life.
Sounds good. And where can they purchase your book at online?
Yeah, you can find it in all the major platforms, Amazon, Apple Books, Google Books, Kobo, Barnes and Noble, and also in all the audiobooks platforms.
Okay. And any closing remarks or final thoughts?
Yeah, so I just want to remind everybody that you are so much than the circumstances you face. Each day offers a chance to discover your inner greatness and share that light with others. And life is an adventure that begin within, and what you find there can change not only your life but the world around you.
Sound good, Herman. Well, I'd like to thank you for doing the interview today.
Oh, thank you for having me. It was a real pleasure to have this space with you.
Pleasure's all mine. So that's my time today on the Real Rap Radio Show. So I'll see you guys next time on the Real Rap Radio Show with Walil Archer on Downtown Hot Radio.
Listen to Downtown Hot Radio on the air 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. Tune in by downloading the Downtown Hot Radio's mobile app. Listen on our website, www.downtownhotradio.com.